Hi, friends. This is Wendy Harrop, and welcome to the Say Yes to Yourself podcast. On the Say Yes to Yourself podcast, you'll hear stories from women just like us who are adding the practice of saying yes in their daily lives in big and small ways, and as a result, are experiencing the truth that everybody wins when you say yes to yourself. Saying yes to yourself is a graceful unfolding, an intentional becoming of the very best version of you. It is my hope that in these conversations, we are able to find our truth and be inspired and empowered to live our very best lives. I'm so excited to go on this journey with you, and I look forward to finding a bit of our own story in each other's. Hey, friends, welcome back to the podcast. As usual, I'm very excited to share this conversation with you. Today's guest is Mary Garcia, and she is just one of the most delightful, generous, kind, thoughtful, encouraging women that I've had the pleasure of meeting. She's just an absolute delight. And like so many of the women that I've been having conversations with through this dreamy medium of a podcast, she was a little reluctant to have a conversation with me. And not because I'm scary, but because she found it surprising that I thought she would have something to say. And of course, I think she has something to say. I think we all have something to say. And so often we discount our offering because we're not some super fancy person that's written a book or climbed Mount Everest or I don't know, whatever, done something amazing. And what I really, really enjoy about all of these conversations is that we are all saying yes to ourselves in big and small ways. And I think the habit of saying yes in the small, seemingly insignificant ways are just the thing that we need to do to exercise that muscle, to build that beautiful habit so that when we're faced with some big opportunity to say a big yes, we're ready. That's a muscle that's well used. And sweet Mary Garcia has fabulous things to say. I'm thrilled to introduce her to you. She doesn't have a website I can send you to. She doesn't have a trip that she can lead you on. But what she has done as she moved into this new community after leaving a home that she and her husband lived in for a long time, she did something so special. She built community centered around food and entertaining and friendship and love, and just the most beautiful thing grew out of it. So I hope that you are inspired by her wonderful yes. I know I certainly was, and she was really generous to include some fabulous tips of how you can also create a community just like she did. So enough of the mystery. Listen for yourself. The very, very lovely story from the very, very lovely woman who is my dear friend, Mary Garcia. Sweet Mary Garcia, I could not be happier to be looking at your beautiful face right now. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, Wendy.
Oh my goodness. So friends, my dear Mary, the first time that I ever met her, she was sharing with a friend of hers after she had pulled in the driveway to get some beautiful dahlias from my beautiful barn. And she told her friend, Wendy is one of us. And that is it's right up there with one of the best compliments I've ever received, ever. So thank you for that.
Oh, well, it takes one to know one. Who I brought with me that day is become a very dear friend. And we started out, we just sort of knew who each other was. And then we met at a little gathering in a park near where I live. And a lot of people were invited, and we were there chatting, and we were talking about food.
Yum.
And meals. And what we did is we decided right then and there that we should start a gourmet supper club. And there was another woman there, and we knew she was a pretty good cook. And so we said, do you want to do that? And then we thought, oh, we need a dessert person. And we thought of someone who wasn't there, but we contacted her and she said yes. And so Marie and I came to your barn because we love flowers and we love beautiful things. And Wendy, you seem to represent all of the things that we love. We love quality, we love beauty, we love thoughtfulness. And we got on the property. I hadn't met you. I didn't know who you were, but I saw you on Facebook and I went, oh, who is this person? I need to know this person. And so I dragged Marie with me and I said, this lady is letting us pick flowers. Do you want to come? She said, yes. And within minutes of meeting her, I went, oh, she is one of us.
Oh my gosh, I love this story so much. And I love.
No, and she agreed with me. And so it was just a beautiful serendipity that I happened to find out about you, that I pursued it. And I thought, it's funny, it's sometimes in life you come across people and you think, I need to know this person. Oh. Definitely on that list. And I'm so glad I did, Wendy. Thank you for being always so welcoming.
Oh my goodness, you're the sweetest. Who wouldn't welcome the goodness that is you?
Oh, thanks.
Oh, it's true. And I love so much about that story beyond the sweet encouragement that it is to me. But I love the ways that you said yes to yourself. You allowed goodness in accepting an invitation to a party. That is a way that we say yes to ourselves. We go outside of our comfort zone if meeting new people is a challenge, or we leap right into that pool because that's where we like to swim. Meeting new people, it's like, oh, I can't wait to meet my friends that I haven't already done things with. Right. That's how I think both of us approach like an opportunity where there are going to be people we don't know.
Oh,
future friends, so exciting.
Future friends. And the thing that was so interesting with this group of women that coalesced that evening was we said hello, and I think I went to lunch with one of them once, but I really didn't know them. But we started this friendship that is just remarkable. We text each other all day long, every day. And I was at an appointment the other day for physical therapy, and my watch dinged. And he said to me, oh, you must be getting a message. And I said, well, I am. And I looked down and I said, this is probably the 50th text this morning about pork tenderloin recipes.
I am one of you. This is so good.
So we talk about so much more than recipes. We've let each other into our lives, and we get together quite a lot. But what what's been fun is planning these dinners that we do. It is, we have parties to plan the party, okay?
Oh my gosh, you're so fun. Okay, I want to hear all about this because what I love is that you said yes to yourself and went to this party. Then you were in conversation, and the beauty of relationship and connection with another woman sparked creativity to come up with an idea that you weren't already doing. And it inspired and connected people that were there and people that were just in your mind and thoughts and heart to include. And then it's become this beautiful thing. So I want to know all about it. I want to know the structure. I want to know about the party, where you plan the party, all of it.
Oh, great. Well, what we do is, when we were first getting to know each other, it was a little bit more formal, and now, no, not so much. we will set a date. We'll say, okay, we'll plan the next few party dates, and then we'll plan a party to, well, it's not a party, but a gathering to plan the menu. And so yeah, the last one we did it. This really nice coffee place in Hudson, the Wild Hare. I don't know if you've been there yet.
Yes, I have. I love that space.
So,
and I love that, just the aesthetics of it. But I recently went there, and it was just a beautiful morning, and that building is beautiful. And I felt so overwhelmed with joy. And as I walked up to the doors, as you mentioned, it's called Wild Hare. So on the door, one door says W and one door says H. And I thought, oh my word, I belong here. My name is on the door. It's just such a beautiful space.
so true, so true. Well, we some of us came armed with cookbooks, and all we had was a date. And somebody said, "So, what do you think we ought to do?" And somebody started talking about, well, we could do this, and someone said, oh, but you know what, we might add this sauce to it. And so we did. And my claim to fame through a few of them has been charcuterie plates.
Ooh,
So I've done that, and I have just enjoyed learning. I hadn't really done them before, but once again, it's a chance to use food as a piece of artistry.
yes.
And so I did that, and we what we've done a few times is we've taken our menu that we finally have put together and gone together up to Total Wine and go talk to the people at Total Wine and say, here's our recipe list, here's our ingredients, what do you think would be a great wine?
I love it.
So we generally have a welcoming beverage. Usually Marie is awesome at cocktails. She's amazing, and they're beautiful. And we usually have at least one wine with a dinner and another wine afterwards. And so that's a complete set. And we do the welcoming, and and of course our husbands are invited to this.
They
don't
so
come and
lovely.
plan. They're not. They just partake. Okay.
Oh
We
my
don't have
goodness.
no opinion.
I love, so you get together, you plan the menu, you plan a theme of whatever you're going to celebrate, or whether that's food-based or holiday, whatever is
right?
happening. And then you all decide on the menu. And do different people bring a different course or a different element? Do you divide all the duties at that point? How does that part work?
We do. We do. We sort of volunteer. Sometimes we do something that we feel like we know how to do, and other times we just go out of our comfort zone and, like, I'll learn how to do that. If I get in trouble, can I call you? And, all of us, because we're just who we are. And Wendy, you will understand this. We usually do practice runs.
You do. I love it.
And we'll go like, this didn't really work out. What do you suggest? Or I'm going to do this again and cook it at a different temperature. So we it's a learning experience as much as an enjoyable one. And you know what I did? I pulled our fall dinner party recipe menu.
Yes, share it.
So our fall dinner party was, and we always, we volunteer to see whose house we're going to have it at. So we have one house. So, each of us, at least once a year or twice, will host it. And of course, that's another whole set of, everything's got to be just pretty and wonderful. And we all love doing that.
Right. And then that's reminding me, though, can you tell everyone the proximity of the women that are in this culinary supper club or gourmet supper club? How close do you guys live to each other?
We live very close. We're in a neighborhood. We belong to a condo community that is so lovely. And it's got quite a few different units, different sizes and so forth. And what they do is every Friday night when the weather is nice from, May through middle of October, we have a party in the park.
Oh my gosh,
every Friday night. Anybody who wants to come, comes. We usually bring wine, something to share sometimes not. Sometimes people bring their meal down to eat down there. And so that's how we've gotten to know one another.
I love that. And I am one of you. I used to do that in my neighborhood in California. We lived in a community with 20 other houses, and we had this beautiful pool that nobody ever used unless their grandkids were coming to visit or something. And I was the youngest person that lived there. And I loved it so much because any idea I had, all the other people that lived there just thought it was a great one. So it was perfect. So I created this Friday night event called Poolsides, and we did the same exact thing. And it was so fun. People said they had lived there for a decade and had never talked to their neighbors.
Yeah. Well, I think what I've learned over the years is people want to do things. They want to do good things. They want to volunteer. They want to be part of things. You just have to ask, People are waiting to be asked. I know sometimes I am. And sometimes you're the one who comes up with the idea and asks. And, it's amazing. People just really do want to connect and are looking for ways to do that on so many different levels.
Oh, I love that. And I love that you guys are all so close that you can walk to each other's houses if you choose to.
We do. And but when it's time for one of these events, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff that comes with us.
Right.
We're definitely dropping because it's unloading for 5 minutes, flowers and charcuterie boards and, mixers and
Gosh, I love it. So then so let's say that this fall, tell me everything about this particular fall menu. So where you did your planning party, who made what, who hosted, and what that day looks like. Do you prepare at your house and then bring the prepared item? Or if there's something that needs to occur really close to the time it's enjoyed, do you prepare that together? What does that look like?
All of the above. I don't remember where we met. I think we might have met at one of our house. Yeah, I think we met on Shirley's porch
Oh, fun.
in this one. Um, and what we did is, as I said, we have one person who is just a genius with cocktails. Something I know, you know a lot about. I know nothing about, and so she offered to do a green apple martini.
Ooh, yummy.
Yeah, we all said that sounds awesome.
Yes, please.
And then she also said for an appetizer, she wanted to add fig dressed pot stickers with wakame seaweed.
Yes, please.
And she made this gorgeous sauce to go with it. It was great. And I've never had seaweed. I went out and got some afterwards though, and it's so good.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, good. And then I did a charcuterie board, and what I wound up with was goat cheese with honey, point raised blue cheese, manchego cheese, champignon triple soft ripened brie, with several different crackers, and of course filled in with dried apricots and grapes and beautiful pieces of rosemary, and so it was a lovely tray, a huge tray.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, and then so we usually spend the first hour just chatting with each other, enjoying the drink, and it's really great because the men have gotten to be good friends with each other, which is
great,
marvelous, because we women, we know how to make friends pretty easily and connect. Many of us do anyhow, but men, it's hard. And so we've just sort of lassoed them into all of this, and these are four brilliant men, and they really get along. And what happened this summer is a couple of them had been smoking cigars and having bourbon. And so they invited the other two to come along. So now on Friday nights, every Friday night, they did this through the summer. My husband, who doesn't smoke, and Jay doesn't smoke either, they come up.
I love it.
They sit in the smoky, puffy, drink their bourbon, talk politics. And so they have developed their own little group.
What a gift. Your yes had so many ripple effects.
So many ripple effects. So many ripple effects. So, they love that. One of the couples goes down to Florida for the winter. So, we're texting her all day long, every day. So we know what she's up to, and what she had lobster bites with butter yesterday at a beautiful restaurant she sent us pictures of. And so we often talk about food, but it is not what we talk about. Grandchildren and children and politics and health and weather and name it, anything that good friends would talk about. And so it's great. So the first part of our evening is just that warm up, getting to reconnect as a group of 8 this time. And for this particular dinner, we had Melomi Pinot Noir, and our main course was delicious, and a few of us have made it several times since. It was pistachio crusted pork with plum sauce and fried leeks.
Yummy. Can you share that recipe with us?
I would be more than glad to.
Fantastic. We will link that in the show notes so everyone can make that. And I will also link my favorite pork tenderloin recipe as well.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
That'll be fun.
So she cut it into medallions, and she made this, it was pretty complex sauce. I made it myself, so I don't know, it's got 7 or 8 ingredients in it.
Yummy.
But so she marinated the pork and then put it in crushed pistachio nuts and baked it so it was just tender. So that was lovely. We had that with a fairly simple salad, arugula, cherry tomato, cucumber, and balsamic dressing. And our vegetable on the side was vegetable tian. Do you know what that is?
Oh, I do, but tell everybody.
Well, vegetable tian it couldn't be easier, and yet it's so elegant.
Yes.
It is, you slice zucchini, and then you find potatoes about the same diameter and tomatoes about the same diameter, and you cut them all in slices, maybe, I don't know, a third of an inch, half an inch at the most. And you just line them up in a circle all the way around. It's on caramelized onions. And then you put the swirl, and it's zucchini, potato, tomato, zucchini, potato, tomato. So it's this beautiful array that you do in a casserole dish, and then cover it with a little bit of oil and thyme and Gruyere cheese. And it's so lovely. It tastes so so very home cooked, you know.
Yes.
It's a comfort food in a way, but very, very nutritious. It's got lots of veggies in it, and it's pretty. It's pretty on the table. And so we did a vegetable tian, and then we broke for a little bit, and I don't know if we had another drink after that. It sounds likely that we did. There's a I don't have that written down, but I think we did. Then we had a French apple spice cake, a la mode, and French press. And then we did Carval Haas, a 10-year-old tawny port.
Ooh, yum.
So that was our menu. And
I love it. So you read that menu. Do you print a menu?
We do.
You do. Okay. Does everyone get a menu at their place setting? How do you do it?
We didn't do it at the place setting, but Marie's awfully good about that. And so what we, she'll give it to us in advance, and then we kind of collect our recipes. And so we have a nice little record of what we've been doing. And a lot of the recipes that people send have their handwritten notes on it, like, it called for a quarter cup. I put a half a cup in, or,
right
thing. And so I've got a stack of recipes now over the last few years. And it's so fun.
Oh, and you need to have a cookbook, create a cookbook out of it.
Well, we should, except a few of them are original, but most of them are recipes that we've discovered. And
you can say inspired by. Oh, it's just a collection, right?
It is a curated collection.
I love it so much. Oh my goodness. Okay, so people couldn't see, but when you measured the stack with your fingers, it was a couple of inches. How long have you been doing this?
We did it. It started in 2019, before the pandemic.
Beautiful.
So we give credit to each other of getting each other through the pandemic, because we couldn't really get together. Right. And we were even afraid to share food. But listen, these people, you have not. I'll get a text. Are you home? I have something I want to share with all of you, and a scone will arrive, or somebody gave me this gorgeous slice of Bush de Noël, or the things that show up at my doorstep. So we were doing that when we got over that huge fear of even sharing any food. Yes. But we didn't really get together. We just, what we did is Friday night Zoom, and we'd have wine and cheese at our houses, and just chit and chat, and have fun with the men.
It's so beautiful. I love every thing about this.
All during the pandemic. And then as soon as it was safe to come out of our little holes, we were able to reconnect and start up our dinners again. And, we don't do them a lot, but it's a big part of our life right now.
I love it. So you don't have a set schedule, you don't do it quarterly, you just kind of when someone has a good idea, then you rally the troops and put something together.
Basically when people say, hey, we haven't had one for a bit, let's do it. But it works out to 3 or 4 times a year. Nice. I did a December Christmas tea for just the girls at my house, and it was so fun.
It's just fun to get to use your stuff, right? Especially like you pack it and move it from house to house. And I mean, you had a different situation with that, but you have these things, or you collect these beautiful things, and it's just great to have an opportunity to use them.
Right. Well, I think knowing you as I do, we love to share our homes.
Yeah, exactly.
And home is very dear to us. And the amount of love that we put into our home, we love to share it. And I
feel like that's why we have one.
It is.
Right?
Oh, so fun.
Oh, it's so good. My word for 2023 is available, and I just want to be available for all the goodness that God has for me, and the great ideas that he's already dropped in my heart, and all the ones I don't know of yet. But I've been also toying with this idea of having 2 words for the year. And since I'm only available for what delights me, and 2 words would delight me, I've decided that I could have 2 words. And my second word is home.
Oh.
And I love it. And I've created this little card with the word home on it. And I have a few of those, and I just put one in the kitchen, and one here at my desk, and one in my bedroom. And just, for me, home, it's safety and warmth, but it's also welcome and celebration. And I only want a house that is big enough for more people to come here. And I want to share this space. And for people who don't feel like they love to be at home, because I love to be at home, I just don't want to be here by myself. So it's just a beautiful thing to share. And I love that we are the same person in that respect as well.
Yeah. And, the thing is, especially at Christmas time, walking into the living room and turning on those Christmas lights every morning, like, what's better than that?
Nothing. I'm with you.
Nothing. And except for sharing it with others. Yeah. So I agree with you on that. And for those of you who have never been to Wendy's place, let me tell you, it's like out of a magazine. The barn is so beautiful. She keeps the grounds up. Her gardens are tended with, you can tell, so much love. They're just beautiful. And I had the privilege of being inside her house one time too, and it's just as charming and beautiful an antique farmhouse as you've ever dreamed of being in. So I hope you'll be able to go and join her sometime, because it's worth it. It's very nice.
Oh my gosh, you're the best. Thank you so much. Well, I would love for one of your planning parties to be in the barn.
Okay.
And you ladies can all come together and bring your cookbooks and make your plan, and I'll make you a delicious breakfast that you can enjoy out there, or whatever time of day you arrive. And it would just be so fun. I would love to be a fly on the wall for that magic that's happening.
Oh, great. Well, when we were at Wild Hair, we were there for, I don't know, 2 hours. And I think we were the main entertainment for everybody else who was there because we laughed hysterically for 2 hours.
My barn is never happier than when it's filled with women's laughter. Oh, I love it. I have loved this conversation, Mary. Thank you for sharing this beautiful yes that is for you, but the ripple effects are far and wide.
Thank you, Wendy. Always a pleasure to be with you and see your beautiful face.
You're so great. I can't wait to have you in my barn. I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. As always, any links or notes mentioned can be found at phineaswrighthouse.com in the podcast section of our site or in the show notes below. And if you haven't connected with me personally, come find me on Instagram at Phineas Wright House and let me know you listened to this episode. I'd love to get to know you. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I know your days are full, and I'm really grateful that you chose to spend some of your precious time right here. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any of these delightful conversations. I'll see you next week.